Me in the studio are two journalists, Dario Dufowoko and Charles Idehu. Gentlemen, thanks for coming this morning on TVC Breakfast. So let's go straight to the papers now, and we start with the Vanguard. The major headline here says many PDP leaders are after their interests. Obasanjo. All right, Night Assembly on the Punch. Night Assembly APC reacts as Saraki says senators should decide their leaders. What is important is for the members of the Senate to decide who is the best to lead them so that they can have stability, Senate President. Members of the minority party should mind their own business. They should find a way of occupying the positions that belong to them, APC. To the Guardian now, can one's religious balance in 9th National Assembly leadership? Saraki gives clue on election of principal officers in legislature. Senate condemns alleged diversion of 42 billion naira to private firm. To Business Day, downstream woes revealed by negative stock returns in 10 years. And the Daily Sun, CCT on Ogun opens defense, alleges interference to call CCB director as witness. And West Africa Business News, industrial activities saw on new order flows employment in March. And to the blueprint to do away with bad eggs, hypocrites, Obasanjo tells PDP. The Daily Trust, kidney disease patients groan over costs of dialysis. I'm really sad. And then we go, the final paper here, the Daily Times. I'll do my best during the second term. Buhari says his campaign to all states of the Federation was an eye-opener. Governor Kuracha, Lord's president, explains why people go along with him. But gentlemen, one story that I know would interest you is one of the major stories across most of the papers this morning, and it has to do with Obasanjo saying that many PDP leaders are after their interests. Charles Idehu, what do you make of his statement?
Who is in doubt? I mean, that's the grandfather of PDP. He was with them for about 16 years, okay, let's say about 14, 15 years before he tore his card. You know, that melodramatic tearing of card. So if Obasanjo is saying that many PDP leaders are after their interest, I personally do not have any cause to doubt him, because as an insider, he should know their mind towards power equation. So Obasanjo is actually stating the fact. He's stating the obvious.
Well,
because when you look at
the fact and the obvious now, why didn't you tell them all of this to perhaps change their mindset before the election?
No, so everything's about dispensation. There's a time for sober reflection. There's a time for you to make noise. There's a time for you to now do introspection, and there's also a time for you to do revelation. So I think this is the dispensation for revelation that he's giving to us now. So it's not about introspection. But what he has thrown into the open now, I think the PDP, they have to, if actually they look at it and see it's going to smear their image, I expect them to now look at how they can.
Let's bring Dario in now. Is this a moment of introspection, revelation, as Charles is saying, because he threw his weight behind, you know, the PDP this time around?
That's exactly where I come from.
So if he knew all of this, why throw your weight behind them, seeing that you are interested in Nigeria?
He didn't just throw his weight behind them. He recommended them for Nigeria. The same people he's now telling us full of bad eggs and hypocrites. If they had won the election, Nigeria would be ruled in the next dispensation by bad eggs and hypocrites. But you see, for me, I want to agree perfectly with former President Olusegun Obasanjo in his self-appointed role of the moral compass of Nigerian politics. It's a good role for an elder statesman like him. However, I think he should approach that role with more selflessness, more selflessness in the interest of Nigeria.
When you say more selflessness, how do you mean? Yes.
He's a highly respected person. For some of us from this side of the country, even we see him as somebody to seek guidance and direction from. When you are ordained by yourself and circumstances to play such roles, you must be selfless. Selfless in that your decisions must go beyond your permutations or your assumptions.
So
or
are
your
you placing
interest.
him in the class of the Awolowos?
If he would be selfless, he would really be in the class.
But one aspect I want to disagree.
If he would be selfless,
with
let me explain this.
Okay.
He saw hypocrisy. He saw bad eggs. He saw people who needed to change a lot of things about the way they live and act in PDP. And without blinking an eye, he recommended PDP for the whole of Nigeria, that this is a set of people you should entrust your future.
At the time he did,
Yes.
there's no way he could have known that most of them had this.
There was
That's-
no way.
No,
That-
please,
that
no,
was-
hold
that
on.
was-
Say-
that
no,
was-
no,
there
hold
was no
on.
way.
That was
Let me say
Mr.
this.
Charles,
No,
that
hold
was
on.
weeks ago.
No, but let me
Weeks
say this.
ago.
But when he recommended them wasn't weeks ago.
He recommended them up to weeks ago.
What I'm saying, Vero, look at.
I want to understand what you mean by we don't have
Make it
no-
clear to us.
What I'm saying first is that there have been times in the past, even it still happens to today, even you were in school, you had some friends that you thought they were virtuous. Over time, you now say, oh, I thought you were this.
Yes.
But one would expect
that
that
was
with his
years
level
ago.
of experience politically, he
No,
should
he's
be
still
able
human.
to reach
He's still
out.
human.
Charles
He's still
just
human.
told us
He's still
he
human.
spent 14, 15 years with them. Charles just reminded us that he was elected as president twice on the
On the
platform
same
of that party.
What I'm
that
saying, no,
And
he couldn't. No,
listen, and he
Obasanjo
worked
is still
with
human.
them. He worked with
Yes.
most of these people. He knew them. He wrote about them in his books.
That's what I'm saying.
Not one book.
Look,
books.
if he's saying
he
that
told
now-
us who they were. Now,
He's
weeks back, months back, he wanted to recreate them.
Isn't that
No,
speaking
what I'm
with both
saying,
sides
look,
He
of
wanted
his
to-
mouth?
Well, I leave that to you
Obasanjo
to
is still
say.
human. He's still human. We can't take the human angle of maybe that's him away from him.
I agree with you.
You understand? Now, a time comes even in human relationships, human interactions, when you feel betrayed. So does it mean sometimes you try to swallow it. Sometimes a time will come. Okay, let me look at it.
I don't see it from
no,
the
you
angle
can't
you're
look at it that way.
Who betrayed who in this?
No, but
mean-
he's been betrayed because the people he felt had the moral righteousness to do this politically. That's why he's coming
No,
out to
he
say
saw
this
that.
now.
I agree with you that. I agree with you that
Exactly.
he saw that he didn't have what he thought.
Yeah, they had, yes.
But he saw that before the election.
He did, because he wrote it in his
And
book.
assuming he thought, this is another
He didn't
supposition.
think. He wrote.
This is a supposition. Assuming he thought at that time that they were not damaging enough. How about that?
So
How
6
about
weeks
that?
after, I suddenly realized
So what
they're totally
if-
Then that's the
By
human in
yesterday-
him.
So if they had come into power, if they had
He
been
will be
voted
telling
in, would
us
he
now
be
that
making this
hypocrites.
statement?
Well, that's it. But thank God we didn't vote them in. How about that?
Well, I give thanks to Obasanjo for finally realizing that he recommended hypocrites and bad eggs for us.
And
to
that-
vote
and
in.
that is
I
why-
give thanks to God Almighty that they didn't win.
And that is why Obasanjo, even now, as he says so, of course, he's also looking at it to say that he's also washing his hands of them.
Sincerely,
Because that was what it was thought
Going
to
by
be
Obasanjo's-
when he tore
He
his
is.
cards at
going
the
by
time.
Obasanjo's
He's washing his hands of
revelation
them now.
Some of us are happy we didn't make the mistake of voting for PDP because we saw a choice. If somebody of
But for
Obasanjo's
democracy,
status
but
was-
for democracy, for a
Yes.
healthy democracy,
Yes.
there must be an opposition.
he recommended.
So, and someone like this, someone of his status making this statement, what does its impact on our democracy?
The impact on our democracy, like I said earlier, is good because we cannot overlook or underestimate Obasanjo's experience in our democracy. He has played pivotal roles.
So he has experience, and you say it was self-appointed?
That's what I mean by he appointed himself to be our
you
moral
are appropriating and reprobating at the same time?
No. You are mixing it up.
Yes.
Maybe in your desire to just put Obasanjo in better perspective. He appointed
No, I have
himself
no
as
cause
our
to do
moral
that.
compass. I am saying he is qualified for that position.
Right.
Because he has played pivotal role.
Yes, only
no,
that
pivotal role has...
But
he needs to be.
the issue now
less
is the
self-
impact
and selfish.
on our
The
impact on-
democracy.
okay,
Yes.
All right.
let's leave it
He
at
will
that.
Let's
just
see
be
how-
more selfless and he will be a perfect figure. in
figure.
that
All
role.
right, thank you, gentlemen, for your contribution this morning on the newspaper review.